Hey guys, it's Cody Jr. back with another video. Actually, this should be Cody Jr. Central, but today I am reviewing the Falcons 2020, and I should say Madden 24 ratings, because I'm pretty sure these are all official. And I'm going to just start from, no, I should do position, right? I don't even know if you can sort from positions this year. Nope, doesn't look like you can. That's annoying, because I'm pretty sure I did it last year. Anyway, when we go up from lowest to highest, I'm gonna start at 60 because these players are gonna be cut in my franchise. So we got Philip Franks. He still lists as a QB. He was playing tight end last year terribly. He was actually garbage. Dorian Etheridge, I don't remember anything about him, but he's 60. 61 for LaCale London, another player I don't know. 62 for Avery Williams, Joe Gaziano, Micah Abernathy, and Timmy Horn. The only person I really have anything to say about is Avery Williams, who, I guess for the small amount of time he played, he was better than 62, but I guess they didn't see enough to change his overall. For 63, we have Nathan Landman, Keith Smith, Carlos Davis, Andre Smith Jr. I've been sneezed all day, but when I'm recording. The one I have to say about is Keith Smith. He's a really underrated running back. I don't know, fullback. I don't know why. There's literally no high over fullbacks. I think if they're gonna take fullbacks seriously, then one thing they should do is make fullbacks since there's barely any. Ones that are there should be better. Highest overall, I don't even think is a 90. What's the point of the fullback position? But yeah, Keith Smith definitely should be higher. Nate Landman, who I've seen play one down, he's just there. 64 goes to Caleb Huntley, Frank Darby, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, John Fitzpatrick, Jovan Gwynn, and Justin Schaefer. Schaefer was drafted last year, and he just didn't play. Gwynn, was he drafted this year? I think he was. So, that's our first rookie, I think. Sean Fitzpatrick was injured. He didn't really have a chance to prove himself. I think we just signed J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, so, good for him. Frank Darby's never going to get a shot. And people are saying he's going to be great one day. He just keeps kind of being there. And Caleb Huntley, he should definitely be higher than 64, but I guess they probably, we want the team to be 77, so we have to make sure, their bad players aren't good, or they will probably be boosted up. Next, for 65, I'm just going to say Ogundeji. He's probably Ogundeji because I think that's what I heard before. Aderokunbo Ogundeji, DeMarco Helms, Jonathan Harrison, and Tay Davis. Ogundeji hasn't really done much, but DeMarco Helms is our second player to be drafted that's on this list. He is from Alabama, I think. So good for him. 66 overall goes to Cornell Armstrong, who was actually, he got better as the season progressed. D. Alford, who was, really good in the preseason, I think. Penny Hart, who I don't know, and Troy Anderson. Troy Anderson, one of the fastest players. One of the fastest linebackers in the league. I think his overall might have went down, though. That's not good. So he's not going to be my usual linebacker this year. Speaking of linebackers, we have D'Angelo Malone. He is, I guess, just in the same year that Ogundeji was, maybe? Not much to really say about him. He might play a little bit since he's a 67, and that's actually pretty high for this team. But for 68, we have Darren Hall, Jalen Mayfield, Taylor Heineke, and Zach Harrison. Darren Hall is a cornerback, another high 60 overall cornerback. He's probably just going to be there, just doing not much. Jalen Mayfield, actually, is one of the few offensive linemen we've seen so far. Taylor Heineke, he is there. He's definitely an okay backup. And Zach Harrison is another rookie. I'll take 68 for him. Next, 69, no one is Taquan Graham, which I don't really care about him. He's probably not going. Well, yeah, I guess he played a little bit last year, but he's not going to make a big impact. For 70, we have Matt Hennessy and Desmond Ridder. Matt Hennessy is a left guard in this game. He might be okay. Like, I don't really know. But I'm pretty sure we have Drew Dalman over him. And Desmond Ridder. That's our starting quarterback. We're going to have to do it for 70 overall. Luckily, you didn't tell you their developmental assistant was Super X. I thought that Silverman might mean their star. I was like, there is no way they gave Claude Phillips and Cardale Hart stars. So next, Matthew Bergeron. We drafted him this year. He 71 for a second round pick is not the best. And I think that's the last draft pick we're going to see. But he's actually higher overall than Matt Hennessy. I wonder if he has star or star or normal. Hopefully he has star, but I'm not really sure. Cardale Hodge. Wait, I just went to 71 without saying all their names first. Arnold Ebiketie, Claude Phillips, Cardale Hodge, and Matthew Bergeron. Hodge is kind of just gonna be there. We have a lot of new receivers, and he was here last year, but I don't think he really stands out. Probably gonna be like 4th, 5th string. Claude Phillips, the next rookie. I don't know how I forgot about Claude Phillips. He was drafted around later. He's the same overall as Matthew Bergeron. And hopefully at least one of these two are stars, because I only want one hidden development player. Next, Arnold Ebiketie. He did okay last year. I guess it wasn't enough to give him an overall boost, though. We have 172 overall player, and that's Jalen Hawkins. He's also kind of there. Like, he's just the safety, and we just grabbed the new safety and drafted one, so I don't think Hawkins is going to be playing too much this season. Next, for 73 overalls, we have Bud Dupree, Drew Dalman, Caden Ellis, Michael Walker, Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller was a player we got from the Buccaneers. We didn't get him from the Buccaneers. He was released, and we signed him. He will be okay. I don't see much from him. Like, he's just another receiver that we got just so Ridder has actual people to throw to. Michael Walker, he was really good at the start of the year. He might have gotten up to 75, but then he just kind of went back to being regular Michael Walker. So, I actually think he was a higher overall than lower overall than this. He was like a 70 or a 71. Now he's 73, so good for him. Ken Ellis did not go up much. I'm pretty sure he was like really low last season, though. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, this year, he is not very good. Drew Dalman is our center, I think. He's okay. Like, for 73, he's okay. Bud Dupree is a new edge rusher that we have, and he's not going to be making too much of an impact, but he could get like maybe 1 to 3 sacks on the season. Next, for 74s, Jonnu Smith, Matt Collins, Trey Flowers. Trey Flowers actually signed really late. Like, we signed him, like, I think it was probably our last free agency signing. No, I think it was actually our second white sign, but that was, like, really, like, yeah, anyway. He was, I actually don't remember, did he play for the Seahawks? Broncos, maybe? I think it was the Seahawks, but never really made a big impact. But he is one of our higher rated cornerbacks, but he's definitely not in the top 3. We'll see them later, so he probably won't be playing too much. Matt Collins, another receiver we signed. He actually had a pretty good season last year. Not enough to get overall boosted, apparently, but maybe he could continue that. John Smith is a new tight end that we traded for with a 7th round pick. Like, we got him with a 7th round pick. He's a 64. I definitely like him. I think he could be a good pairing with Kyle Pitts when he's in the slot or out wide. John Smith will be on the line. Now in our top 20 with 75 overalls, we have Eddie Goldman and David Onyemata, 2 new defensive linemen. They actually gave Goldman a pretty high overall for coming back from retirement and not being crazy good. He was pretty good before he retired, but it wasn't anything special. We've seen a lot of players come back from retirement recently, like Marshawn Lynch. I think he came back from retirement. Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. You know, Rob waited a year. Tom Brady just, like, I don't know, he's weird. But there you go, and gets a nice overall. It may have just been taken from his last time playing. And David Onyemata, who's a Saint, former Saint, now Falcon. He could be good. Like, he's probably just put some of the pressure off Jarrett. And next up, we got Bradley Pittman. He's a punter. He actually went up in overall, so good for him, but he's a punter. Not much else to say from that. Like, he's just going to be here to punt the ball. He's not a bad punter at all. He's just a pretty good punter. But, like, for this to be in our top 18 ratings, and he's only a 76, it's not the greatest. Next, for 77s, we have 4. Jeff Okudah, Lorenzo Carter, Mike Hughes, and Richie Grant. Jeffrey Okudah and Mike Hughes, we want to talk about them together, are 2 cornerbacks that haven't really broken out yet, but I'm pretty sure they're both former first-round picks, and they're both pretty good. Like, I'm very happy that we released Casey Hayward to get extra money and then signed 2 younger cornerbacks. Like, both these guys have at least 3 years left. Like, really, Mike Hughes, he's pretty, I think he's like 26. And Jeffrey Okudah's like 24, something like that, 23. So, yeah, both of these guys have a lot of years left, and we're going to be paying them for AJ Terrell for like 1 or 2 years. And maybe even more if they end up breaking out. Next, Richie Grant. He had a pretty good season last year. I was mad at first that they drafted him over Trayvon Merrick, but now I'm like more content with it. Richie Grant is a good safety. Definitely isn't perfect, but he knows how to get to the ball. And that's a pretty big thing for a safety. Next, number 0, Lorenzo Carter. He was pretty good last year. Really athletic player. Former Georgia Bulldog. I think everyone saw what he has been what he has had the potential of doing his entire career, and he should be like a very big improvement from last year coming on to this year. He's nearing his prime, and we do need good edge rushers. And hopefully, I think this is last year of his contract, or do we re-sign him? I don't know. Either way, hopefully he brings us even more great pick 6s this year. Next, we have 278 overalls, Tyler Algier and Caleb Mcgary. Both of these players were way lower when the season first started. First, Caleb Mcgary, he actually had an amazing season last year. Like, a great season. He was one of the 2 reasons our offensive line, one of our 2 main reasons our offensive line was so good. We almost didn't re-sign him, but we did manage to bring him back for like 3 years, I think. I'll check it later. And he got boosted up to 78, so that's going to be, like, he was like 75 or maybe lower at the start of the season. I think he was 75, though. He got boosted up 3 overall, which you don't like boosting up offensive linemen too much, so I'm pretty happy with this. Tyler Algier at the start of the season was like a 67, and now he's way higher at 78. He rushed for 1,000 yards, which isn't too easy for a running back at all. So, like, 78 we definitely take. He has star development, which isn't favorable, but honestly, for a player who's in his second year, he still has a lot to prove. So that's why they couldn't bring him up to an 80. But hopefully he has another good season and just gets boosted up to like an 85. Next, 280 overalls. This brings us into our top 10. Drake London and Younghoe Koo. Younghoe Koo is a top 10 kicker in the league, in my opinion. I don't think anyone can really refute that. Especially for a team that kicks a lot of field goals and can't really finish a lot of possessions. He's definitely going to be kicking a lot more. I mean, a lot still. I'm hoping he kicks more extra points than he did last year and less field goals. I mean, he can still kick a lot of field goals and extra points. Like, that would be cool, but I'd like to convert a little bit of those field goals into touchdowns, which would sadly decrease his production. He does have superstar development, which is one of our few players to do that. Oh, I guess he officially changed number to number 6. I'll miss number 7, Younghoe Q, but 6 still looks good in our jerseys, so I'm not very mad by it. And next, we step 1 number down to number 5 for Drake London. He is our best receiver, only at 80 overall. Once again, we probably have a bottom 3, like I might say, I'm not even going to say bottom 5, I want to say bottom 3 receiver core in the league. Especially if you take Madden overalls, which I know doesn't describe the whole story at all. But let's just use Madden as an example. We have an 80 as our highest, and our second highest, you have to scroll all the way down to 74. Last year might have been worse. I think last year might have been worse, but still, Drake London, really good. Like, yeah, 846 yards, but he could increase just because he's going to be getting better, but it might also decrease as we have a new player. And let's speak about that new player, Bijan Robinson. He's wearing number 7. And he is a rookie running back picked at number 8 out of Texas. He is a beast. I haven't watched a lot of highlights yet, but from what I've seen, he is absolutely monstrous. People from training camp are already talking about his explosiveness, and he's apparently a great guy too. He's our second 80 overall player. Second 81 overall to be exact. That's covers for 82, but I don't know. To be picked and then put in as you know what I'm trying to say. He's another 80 overall player that we drafted. We've drafted Kyle Pitts, Drake London, and Bijan from the last 3 years, which is just like, if we were not named the Atlanta Falcons, people would be worrying. Like Drake London, Bijan Robinson, and Kyle Pitts in 3 years. And Pitts had 0 bust potential. London had only I would say 15% bust potential. And Bijan also had 0% to be a bust. Running backs drafted in the top 10 are never busts at this point in the league. Even though running backs are starting to be valued less, which makes me scared that we might not sign him. But if we draft them in the top 10, and hopefully we're not like the Giants and struggling to give Saquon Barkley a contract. But also, one thing I want to mention, I'm pretty sure they don't reveal hidden overalls. Like before, let's go to, what was another player we know is probably superstar at least. Let's go to Carolina. The Panthers. Now, if we go, oh god, their team is not very good either. But they're actually way harder than us. Our 18 is worse than it. Wait, was it? I don't know. Anyway, yeah, their team is not very good either, as you can probably see. Their highest overall is 87. Oh, Brian Burns changed his number to 2. Interesting. But when we're looking for Bryce Young, he's a 74. What? Oh, they just overall lower QB ratings? Top Q. Wait, hold up. Top. No. We gotta do something about this, man. Hold up. The first QB is where? Patrick Mahomes at 99. And then, can I just look at QBs? QB, is that going to work? Doesn't seem like it. These are the teams, but what is he like? Best by row. Can I just do quarterbacks instead of non-quarterbacks? Oh, position. Alright, QBs, quarterbacks. 99, 95, 94, 91, 88. Okay, so the top 10 drops all the way down to 83. They just don't rate quarterbacks as highly. Very highly, because honestly, I think Russell Wilson still has, Justin Fields, Ryan Tannehill, Daniel Jones is still 75. They're not, they just don't rate quarterbacks very highly. CJ Stroud also 73. Fine, let's just use a different example then. Jalen Carter, who I know is most likely a superstar or something. He's a 79. Oh, no, I should just go to the Eagles, shouldn't I? Oh, you can see the exact ratings, too. I might do that for some of our players. Anyway, Eagles. They're very good. But when you go to Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, as you probably shouldn't have superstar. But it's not showing. I think that when the development is hidden, it doesn't show anything. So when you go to Bijan Robinson, who's the highest overall rookie, I'm assuming? I can check it out later, but he's at 81, but there's nothing showing. I'm assuming he's a superstar development player, but they just want to keep it hidden so when you first play the game, you can see at the 500 downs how good they are. So, I think Bijan is superstar, maybe X Factor, but I think superstar. Which, that's another young player on this team. Drake London, I can't over-exaggerate this. Drake London, which is the worst out of these three, which is crazy. Assuming Bijan Robinson will be just amazing. Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts in the first round in the last 3 years. I know it's all offense, but it doesn't matter. This is an offensive league. And in 5 years, this is really humble saying that we might not probably not go win 5 years, which I don't even know if that's true. And we have a great quarterback, either if it's Ritter or we end up finding one somewhere else. Having 3 players who can be literally anywhere on the field. London can't really be anywhere, but he can still be in a slot out wide. Pitts can be in the tight end position, slot or out wide. And Bijan can be in the backfield and literally anywhere except for the tight end position in the receiving room. We could end up having a top 10 offense by the next 2 years, I'll say, and a Super Bowl winning team in the next 5. It's just Bijan. Even though I really want Algier to flourish, if we know for a fact that Bijan is going to be something different from even Algier, I can understand why we picked him. It makes me wonder why running backs have been dropping. Running backs are my favorite position in the NFL. A lot of my favorite players are running backs. Barry Sanders, Nick Chubb, DeAndre Swift, which 2 of those guys are from Georgia. Who else? Derrick Henry, most definitely. Is there any other, Devontae Freeman from the Falcons, even though he wasn't great for a long time. Le'Veon Bell was definitely one of my former... it's just sad to see how running backs are now. But Bijan, I think he could eventually be one of the game changers for the running back position. If there's running backs like him and Jahmyr Gibbs coming into the league, being able to catch the ball at an elite level and run at the elite level with a pass-heavy league, they might be the guys getting bigger contracts, while players like Josh Jacobs, who aren't really known for catching the ball, might fall out of the league. And it's sad, but receiving backs are going to be taking over the league very soon. You know what's weird? I recognized? Who is a power kicker? I know he's great for 50+, but if I think about who, I think of him hitting from 49 at an elite rate and the low 50s. I don't think of him as a 55 bomb kicker that we just won't punt because of him. I think of him as a player that's almost a lock to hit field goals day in, day out, but that's just me. Yeah, don't worry about it, Falcons fans that play Madden. You can just simply put Algier at third down back, put Algier at starter or power back, or put Robinson at starter and third down back. So they're both going to be able to play some snaps. Hopefully we have more power run formations, because in Madden 23 we don't, so Algier won't get much playing time. But yeah, Bijan, amazing. I'm hoping that it's just... There's no way that none of these players are superstars. There's no way that made everyone star, so I'm expecting Bijan to be superstar. Let's go on to number 8 at 82 overall, Jake Matthews. This man's been at 81 and 82 for so long, but he's just really consistent. He is the second best player on the offensive line, and he usually has been the best offensive lineman we've had. I guess when Alex Mack was there, he wasn't. And the only times he hasn't been our best offensive lineman was when Alex Mack was there, which hasn't been for a while, and now when we got Chris Lindstrom, which he's only been our best for 1 and maybe 2 years. Jake Matthews is our most consistent offensive lineman. He should be a Falcons legend by the time he retires. And I used to not like him because he was a little inconsistent. But he cleaned that up real quick, and now he's becoming one of the more underrated players in the entire NFL. Next, number 7, still at an 85 overall, is Cordell Patterson. He is our highest overall running back, which means he'll probably be starting. Wait, this is going to be really weird. Does that mean on our Falcons team, like our formations, Cordell Patterson will be running back 1, Bijan will be third down, and Tyler will be power? That is going to... I don't know if I want that. I might have to change that up a little bit. But that side, I'm surprised that they did lower Cordell Patterson's. Like, I'm pretty sure they did change the overalls and they've changed them up. Like, these are all official. But he's still an 85 after getting injured last year? Usually injuries, you get bumped down a little. But there's 2 players here who did not get bumped down after getting injured at all. Patterson's really good. But with how running backs are looking, I'm sure I'm still 85. I really don't know how I'm going to do my receivers my running backs this year. It's going to be very weird. In my second Falcons franchise I did this year when I used to roster with Bijan Robinson, I put Cordell Patterson at receiver. But I don't think I can put an 85 overall running back at receiver and just leave him there. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, Patterson, very good, very consistent running back, I'll say. He doesn't have bad games, and he's making... I'll be surprised if the Falcons don't have the best rushing in the league for our offensive line compared with our 3 amazing running backs. I'll be surprised. Bijan Robinson ran 2 carries and only got 4 yards. Okay, on 3rd and 6, throw it out the backfield to Patterson, or just get to one of our 2 amazing tall receivers, Drake London and Kyle Pitts. Algier fumbled the last possession. Give it to one of our more protective running backs. Because I think Algier did fumble. Did Algier fumble? No, it was Patterson who fumbled. Patterson fumbles? Just put in Algier, who's way more protective and with the ball. Like, we have 1 receiving back, 1 elusive back, and 1 power back. That is insane. So maybe we should put Bijan... Hear me out. Bijan, for real life and Madden, Bijan is our starter. He's just an elusive back. That's a normal thing for running back. He's starting. Put Cordell Patterson at receiving back and Algier at power back. It's weird to be running through your running backs, but Patterson's most likely going to be on pass plays. He's not going to get many carries. I think that's probably the thing we do, right? But enough of the questions. Moving on. Calais Campbell. Oh, what a signing. Our second best signing is Calais Campbell? Most teams, if they sign Calais Campbell, that's the best signing on defense. And maybe on offense too. Like, in general. But that was even our best. Sure, he's old. But have you heard anything about him getting worse over the last 3 years? No, you haven't. I'll tell you because I know you haven't. Calais Campbell is going to be finally somebody who could take a lot of the pressure off of Grady Jarrett in the defensive line. Finally, we have someone who can do that, and that is Calais Campbell. He might start to see regression this year. I wish we could have, maybe had someone like him on our team the season that we went to the Super Bowl, but even today, at 36 or 37, he's still going to be an amazing player on our team. Not much to say about him as compared to our amazing running backs, but now we hit our final 5. Also, Calais Campbell still has superstar. Okay. Next, at number 5, Grady Jarrett. Amazing defensive tackle. The fact that he saw that we had no pass rush last year and then immediately improved in the pass rushing game while only losing a little bit of his run-stopping potential is actually crazy. You don't see that much where a player just completely changes how they play football to help their team win more games. I'm telling you, if he didn't get the worst roughing the passer call in actual football history, and you're not gonna lose that debate against me. If he didn't get the worst roughing the passer call in NFL history, he would have taken us to the playoffs because we would have won that game. Maybe let's assume we won that game. The Bucs would have been 1 game behind. We would have been 1 game forward, which puts us in the NFC I mean, that puts us at 7th seed, right? Or, I don't know. But we're in the playoffs. That's what matters. We will have been in the playoffs if not for Grady Jarrett's the referee's terrible call on one of the cleanest sacks I've seen. Like that, and then Jarrett comes out the next time they play and then has one of the quickest run stops in NFL history. I'm telling you, it's probably in the records for one of the fastest run stops of all time. It was immediate. I didn't know the play ended. But yeah, Grady Jarrett, amazing pass rusher and run stopper. Actually, I won't say amazing pass rusher. Great pass rusher, amazing run stopper. Then we added another run stopper in Calais Campbell, then we added Caden Ellis, who can rush the passer, and Bud Dupree, who can rush the passer. Like, our defensive line isn't amazing, but it definitely has players now more assigned to specific things. Instead of having Mcgary, who's kind of just... Mcgary and Carter, who are both, kind of trying to be hybrid at the edge, and then Jarrett, who's just being a hybrid, not trying to. It's still really weird. Now we have some better pass rushers, and Calais Campbell at run stopping, which opens up more opportunities for Grady Jarrett. At number 4 is Kyle Pitts at 87. I have a lot to say about Kyle Pitts. In his first season, he was immediately jumped up to one of my top 10 Falcons players I've ever watched. This man was insane. I never cared for tight ends when I was back before we drafted him. Then we hear about this. Also, this is basically an excuse to talk about the Falcons, by the way. I'm not really talking about the Ravens that much anymore. I'm really just talking about my favorite players on the Falcons. But Kyle Pitts was on the scene. I thought we should have drafted pass rusher or wide receiver. There was no other option. We come out here hearing about this amazing unicorn tight end out of Florida, which, I didn't like him less. But I was like, fine, whatever. We might draft him. Then the rumors also, the Falcons are weird. It was literally everyone knew that we were going to draft Kyle Pitts. Then nobody knew we were going to draft Drake London. People thought I was going to be Garrett Wilson or Crystal. I would have loved, the receiver class in that year is underrated, by the way. We need to talk about that too. That era class was, for receivers, is crazy. And no one saw us pick Drake London, the pick of Drake London coming. And then there's another obvious Bijan Robinson pick. But both times, it was obvious. I wanted us to draft someone completely different. Kyle Pitts pick, I wanted to pick Justin Fields. Or trade back, pick offensive lineman. Or any other position, pretty much. I expected it, but I was trying to put it back in my mind. We're not drafting a tight end. We're not that crazy, but we did. But we're going to go out and tell Kyle Pitts story later. Then Bijan Robinson, once again in my biggest mock draft, I ended up having us trade back. Because I did not think we should pick the running back. Now I feel like it's going to be similar to the Kyle Pitts story, where this man has a record-breaking... Yes, I expect Bijan Robinson to have a rookie record-breaking season. But Kyle Pitts almost took the record for most receiving yards as a rookie tight end. If the Falcons weren't one of the worst coaching staffs in that season, we probably would have gotten him that. But we were a lot better last year. So we draft this man. He does amazing. He has 2 amazing innings to Dolphins and Jets. Gives us both of those wins. Without Kyle Pitts, we had Hayden Hurst, we would not have won either of those games. Actually, not the Saints game either. We're not winning the Saints game either. So, yeah, that's crazy. So, we do go out and do that. Kyle Pitts has an amazing season. Which is you think, oh, God, this guy's going to be a top 5 tight end after the next year. He gets hurt. He was having an amazing season. He was looking like he was going to get 1,000 yards again, maybe even hit nearing 10 touchdowns, so he got hurt. But that was such a good second year before he got hurt, and we were like, it doesn't matter. Madden clearly agrees too, not bumping pretty much anything for him down. Still a superstar, still 87 overall. That's crazy. Kyle Pitts is looking like he's living up to his expectations. If he didn't get injured, he would be a top 3 tight end in my opinion right now. Mark Andrews is great, but Kyle Pitts maybe top 4. I'll say top 4 because Mark Andrews really is really good. But the top 3 tight ends are Travis Kelce, George Kittle, Mark Andrews. All 3 are in their 30s. Kyle Pitts is 22. I think in the next 5 years, I already mentioned the Super Bowl, Kyle Pitts will be the best tight end in the NFL. It won't even be close unless, because from what I've seen, the tight ends after him are all the same. All are okay tight ends who are going to fill the void for 3 years, probably get cut. Maybe some of them are different, like Freiermuth, but most of them are probably near that prediction. Kyle Pitts is the man for a job if you're looking for amazing tight ends in the league that could be good for a very long time. But I'm not going to talk about him too much longer because I feel like I'm going to drag this video out till for an hour. But next is AJ Terrell. Now, he had a down season. He wasn't bad. He was kind of like Calais Wingo. He had a good season, but it was nowhere near the level of how good he was last year. He was the best quarterback last year. And if you disagree, you're wrong. He was the best quarterback last year. He was just, it's an argument between him and Trayvon Diggs. But Terrell had interceptions too. He had like 3 or 4. So I don't want to hear no, he's not the best quarterback for that year. He was pretty not great this year. He was getting beat by Brandon Ayuk. I don't remember who it was, but it was someone else not very good. He was selling. But by the end of the year, he tightened up, especially with Casey Hayward getting injured. He went back to almost normal Terrell. Still wasn't quite where he was. And now people are saying he's a top 10 tight end cornerback? Huh? Jalen Ramsey has been falling off for the past 3 years. And he's still, like, the best quarterback in the NFL, which I wouldn't really disagree with. Unless you say Sauce Gardner after 1 season, but we still know Ramsey's really good. So with Michael Smith, Terrell's rookie season was great, and his sophomore season was even better. His junior season was okay. Does that make him bad? Does great, amazing, and good make you a bad cornerback? I don't know. But Terrell, clearly Madden knows what they're doing, because they kept him at a 80, I think he was at 88, but he went down 1 overall, still kept superstar. Thank you, man. Clearly, you're not an idiot. Well. But, like, you're not bad at ratings, I don't think. They're not too bad at ratings. Hopefully, Terrell comes back to his regular ways. He will be outside. We have some pretty good receivers to deal with. Justin Jefferson, who embarrassed Terrell in their rookie seasons, by the way. I just want you to know that. As a big fan of both players, Justin Jefferson embarrassed Terrell. But yeah, I have high expectations for him. Like, our team is crazy young. Because, like, oh God, why did it refer? I don't know. Anyway, like, a lot of our top 10 is in their 20s. Jared might be 30 now, but even if he is, Lindstrom, Bates, Terrell, Pitts, I think Matthews, Robinson, and London are all in their 20s. So that's great. Number 2, Jesse Bates. So, one of the best players on the Bengals, top 3, I think. Maybe top 4 if you say Joe Mixon's better. Top 3 player. Had, like, before the free agency even started, was seen talking to some of our biggest stars. And then, as soon as free agency starts, he's one of our first players to be signed. Okay, well, that's how you flex your money into the rest of the NFL. By picking up maybe the best player in the free agency this year. Definitely top 3, top 5 best. I don't know much about him. I haven't watched a lot of his game, like the players. All I know is that he can tackle really well, he can force fumbles really well, and he can intercept the ball better than almost every safety in the NFL. And Madden clearly knows this, as they made him 91 overall. So that's good. He's going to be really good. And Mr. Secondary, you have AJ Terrell and Jesse Bates, along with Gray Jarrett, Calais Campbell, which makes our linebackers look really bad. I mean, you're right to say that, considering our best running back, specifically in Madden, is a 77, and he's an outside linebacker who rushes the passer. But, yeah, the rest of our defense is still really good. Is this actual footage from Madden 24, by the way? See Kyle Pitts, Patterson, Edwards. Who's Edwards? Do we have Edwards? Like, I don't know. Edwards not coming to my head right now. I don't know. Oh, Brian Edwards. I haven't seen him. I guess he must not be on our team anymore. Now, let's go to number 1. Number 1 is Chris Lindstrom. Now, before we go through everything, He's definitely in the top 100 man ratings. He is right here. Wait, he doesn't have superstar? He has star. Madden, are you really gonna try? Are you gonna try to make us care more about offensive linemen, or are you just not? Because they still have an X factor for them. They still do not. But I wanted to go to top best by position left guards, which is kind of small, but wait, I guess he's a right guard. Never mind. Right guards. He's second to Zach Martin. Chris Lindstrom had one of the, maybe he was the best offensive lineman last year? I don't remember. But he is a top 5 offensive lineman from last year. He was absolutely insane. I didn't hear one negative thing. I didn't hear a sack that was caused by Chris Lindstrom. Even in the games we watched, I never saw Algier get stuffed up by a defensive line early because of Chris Lindstrom. I didn't see anything. I saw, from what I heard and saw, Chris Lindstrom was an amazing run blocker. Like, he would not only destroy the first guy he was going against, no matter how good they were, he would move on to the next level and destroy whoever was in front of him. He was crazy. And as a pass blocker, nobody was getting by him. If it was a double team with either Drew Dahlman or the right tackle, which is Caleb Mcgary, or is he left guard? I don't know. Either way. I think he was right guard. I'm pretty sure he was right guard. So he was with Caleb Mcgary, which would destroy pretty much any edge rusher ever. Not like Nick Bosa could probably get away from him 1 or 2 times, but I don't think he was playing in that game. Chris Lindstrom is like what you want to be when you're drafted into the NFL in the first round. Like you know what I mean. He's the epitome of a right guard or an inside offensive lineman. If I wanted to be an offensive lineman, I would be someone who's young. Like, I'm searching him up right now. Who's young and almost equally good at run and pass blocking. He is 26 from Boston College, just like Matt Ryan, I will add. You have a 5-year, $105 million contract with the team that you were drafted by. Like, what else do you need from an amazing offensive lineman? Like, I'm very proud of, like, drafting him. I want to know where he was. Who was drafted first? I think he was drafted in 2019? No, 2018. Well, we'll see now. Pretty sure y'all can see this, so. What? These are pictures. Oh, here we are. Is this the year? No, this is the year we drafted Wait, who did you draft first? Definitely Calvin Ridley. So it's 2019. 2019. Okay, now we're here. There's 32 quarterbacks. Wow. Alright, so here we are. So we selected... Wait, where are we? Chris Lindstrom first at 14, and it came back at the top of the... Actually, at the bottom of the first round almost, and picked Calais Mcgary. Both of these players are probably top 50 offensive linemen right now. That's insane. What a great draft class. I thought it was going to be bad because Calais Mcgary looked terrible to start off his career, and Chris Lindstrom only looked okay. Now I'm thinking Chris Lindstrom could end up in the next 5 years being the best offensive lineman in the league. Just another example of a player who is young, versatile, and just overall a pretty great player. Now, I see there's a few problems with our team. Linebackers are absolutely trash. Like, I don't see any of them being a top 30, 50 linebacker in the NFL unless one of them really steps up. So, yeah, that's not great. And receiver, which I think is very easily disputable when you think we have a top 10 tight end, 3 top 50 running backs, I'll say. I think Passion's more debatable because he plays really versatile, so. I was really arguing Tyler Algier. He ran for 1,000 yards. 50 running backs are not doing that every year. And I'm assuming Algier will have at least 500 yards this year. If he has only that much, maybe you can argue him. Somehow find a way to argue him out of the top 50, but I doubt it. Bijan's immediately going to prove us that he's better than the top 50. So I think saying those three are in the top 50 running backs is definitely not wild. Algier is definitely he's going to be our worst receiving back. I'm not going to lie. He is a good receiving back, but there's nothing making me look at him saying, oh, yeah, you do not want to see this guy come out the backfield on a screen. Like, I'm not going to say that. Patterson is one of the best receiving backs in the game. You know he's dangerous. He has a power back he's a giant power back who can juke, spin, truck, stiff arm, whatever he needs to do to get to that first down marker. And Bijan Robinson, listen, dude, Jahmyr Gibbs is an amazing running back, and Bijan is way better. Like, I'm not trying to disrespect Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the better running backs we've seen in the past 5. No, I'll say 3, because, 3 draft classes. And Bijan is, like, on another level than that, in my opinion. They're both very good. But Bijan is one of the best draft prospects we've seen since... No, the best draft prospect we've seen since Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, that type of Big Chubb, like, you know what I mean. But yeah, I'm going to end this video before it hits, like, 8 hours. Because I could talk about the Falcons forever. I think maybe next I should do on this channel, I'm going to basically take all the players I see here, put them into a depth chart, like, make my own depth chart for them, and then talk about that. I think that could be a good way to, like, enter more Falcons territory in this channel. Anyway, see you guys next time. This is Cody Jr. Adios.